My screen has been poisoned right now.
This jersey look great.
It's been poisoned. It's been straight.
Oh, the
poison.
Bengals. Oh, because your jersey.
He's not even a Bengals fan. He's just being a bitch right now.
Being a troll.
Bengals fan.
I know a lot of you are Joe Holbert marks, but you will enjoy a lot of the content on True Hill Heat YouTube channel.
It's like my content, but good. You should try it out. It's good stuff.
I would say it's like Joe's content, but a little bit more tanned.
Yeah.
And the Titans about to board the L train.
Go fuck yourself.
But thank you for the super chat.
Y'all can keep that whole $4.99.
We need to do budget cuts. Who do we release?
Ricochet.
Gunther. Can I get released?
Get that out of here.
Every single one of them. Jake Atlas released. Tony Storm walked out. Mercedes Martinez released. Taya Valkyrie released. I have an American nightmare that one day my young biracial little daughter will not be judged by the content of her skin, but by the content of my wrestling character. I have an American nightmare today.
You'll notice that I with the whole summer race segment, I just sat here because I ain't getting that Twitter trouble, man. I'm a free agent.
Tell you, man.
Exactly. Earlier in the day.
Yes, that is the best one. That is it. That's it right there. Fuck you, Bully Ray. Like, who the fuck are you?
It's a sack of shit, bro. He's a sack of shit. He's a waste of fucking semen.
Fair. Agreed. Fair.
Oh my God. Not my proudest work, but it's honest work.
What the fuck?
It was another fun one last week, and we got a huge one this week. It's Royal Rumble Day, and we got one of our biggest guests, Andrew Zarian of the Matman Podcast. Producer, hit the intro. Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch for True Hill Heat 160. The Royal returns. We will be discussing the latest wrestling news, including the possibility of Ronda Rousey returning tonight at the Royal Rumble. Other surprise returns that have been talked about or reported on this week. Recap of the week in wrestling. Preview and predictions for the Royal Rumble 2022, plus much more. I am back as always with the beautiful, the lovely Miss Krssi Love.
Good morning, all you snow bunnies. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is safe and warm. I don't know about you guys, but we're here. We have a big snowstorm happening outside, so we're snowed in. What's going on, guys? Hi, SP.
Yes, indeed, we are snowed in, and we have a fellow New Yorker who is here with us, snowed in as well. He is, in my opinion, the breakout star of wrestling media of the past 12 months. This man's name has been popping up everywhere, so he makes me a proud New Yorker that he is a fellow New Yorker as well. He is the host of Wrestling Observer Live on Sundays, as well as the host of the Matman Podcast every Thursday. And this is Podcast Extraordinaire, Andrew Zarian.
Listen, what an intro. What an intro. Listen, the reggae horn is a big help with everything. I got to tell you, who knew all I had to do was start tweeting? A lot of people don't know what that is. See, I like that you knew what born and raised New Yorker, you know?
Hey, go.
Listen, that build up, man, I'm going to clip that and I'm going to use that somewhere. I had no idea. All I had to do was start tweeting what I talk about on the show, and it kind of changed everything for good and bad.
Yes, we gotta get like we got a meme master. Our producer's a meme master. We're gonna have to make the meme of you like accepting the award for breakout superstar of 2021 in wrestling media. But I try my best to give good intros, Andrew. Please let the people know everything you got going on, because I probably missed on a couple of things because you are a very busy man.
Yeah, man, you hit the nail on the head, actually. I do Tuesdays. The only thing you missed was Tuesdays I do We're Live Pal on F4W on the Wrestling Observer website with Denise Salcedo and Garrett Gonzalez. Obviously, Matt, man, we've been doing it for like 11 years now, which is wild to think about it. 11 years we've been doing that. Observer Live has been a bizarre thing that happened to me, because that's how I started out listening to pro wrestling radio. It was Observer Radio on IATA in 1999. I'm dating myself. I'm a little older. I'm dating myself.
I'm in that range with you, friend. It's okay.
Yeah, I think we're all in that range. We just, we all three of us kind of make our age look good. So,
yeah, so listen,
if that is not see, I'm saying, like, yeah.
Take the credit. That's it. I take it all the time. No, and I'm on Twitter at Andrew Zarian.
You have been honestly been doing a lot of work, whether it's talking to people, dropping a lot of news and sources for us fellow New Yorkers. What do you think was like the difference where you've kind of just break out and become this like top name in wrestling media?
I started tweeting it on my personal account, to be honest. I never did like scoops and stuff. We would just talk about it on the show, and I think it was the Sasha Banks being on Mandalorian story that got picked up, and everybody's like, hey, how come you don't tweet this? And I'm like, I really don't like doing the scoop stuff,
right?
And I was like, you know what, let me just do it. And I think I put the NXT going to Tuesday story up, and then after that everything just kind of spiraled, and I was like, you know what, I'm having fun doing this. I don't really work for anybody to put wrestling news out. I don't make money from putting out wrestling news or like stories. Like, obviously from the show you make a couple bucks, but it's just this is a passion project for me. This is something fun, and I'll do it until people make me hate doing it, and I'll disappear. There you go.
Absolutely. There, see, I told you. Our producer's fast. The producer is fast.
I thought I had a slammy here. Somebody had sent me a slammy. I was gonna hold it up and thank you for the award. I can't find it. I think my kids came in here and took it.
We got to get you that award so we can pitch you full screen for the acceptance speech and everything, and then there's background music on StreamYard now, so we can play the music.
Yeah, let's do it.
Nice.
I'm into it.
Okay.
But of course, we're going to be talking about the latest wrestling news, and we will be taking a couple of your questions for Andrew in the live chat. So please, of course, your super chat donations are appreciated, but we want to hear from all of you. We will try to highlight as many as your comments as possible. But remember to drop a thumbs up on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. I think we're about 4 subscribers away from 2,000. A lot of support over the weekend. We plan to hit that later today or during this podcast here. So show your support for the True Hill Heat Nation. We got Alan Weinstein in the live chat saying, good Saturday morning, True Hill Heat fam and chat.
Morning.
We even got 5th generation Carney saying, hope everyone's doing well. Andrew was in the live chat, all punctual and everything in the live chat for us as well. We got the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson, saying, sup, True Hill Heat fam. Welcome to the show, Andrew. Who's ready to rumble? I think we all are. And Frantic World is here with us saying, what's up, True Hill Heat, Andrew, and chat. So a bunch of our favorites are in the live chat this morning, but we got to shout out a couple more with our True Hill roll call. This is where we shout out anyone who supported the podcast or any of our social media platforms. Our top 3 conversation starters on the True Hills group page, our True Hill Trinity, is number 3, Luis Jaden, number 2, Reno Red, and number 1, of course, the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson. No one wants that care package from Top Guy JJ, Miss Krssi Love.
I don't know why. It's a good package. You know, he is the candle man. He certified the candle man. He is the man with all of the good. Valentine's Day is coming, guys. Y'all need that.
And Andrew, we always extend this to our special guests. We have our other host who's not with us this week. Because he's managing Bath and Beyond or Bath and Body.
Bath and Body Works.
Bath and Body Works. I get all those confused together, ladies.
You got all the baths together.
But yes, if you need any candles or any stuff for the wife, just let us know. Just let us know.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Our Patreon backers that we got to shout out: Vala B, aka Blonde Rar, Alan Weinstein, Alex McCarthy, Professor Chris, Austin K, Slammin' Sammy Joe, You My Boy Blue, Yachty, Robert Haynes, Steve Salvage, Antoine Rutledge, and Fifth Generation Carney. And of course, become a Patreon backer today, $3 a month, and you could become a part of the True Heel Heat Prediction Championship that starts with the Royal Rumble and ends at SummerSlam. Well, you can hear more about that on our Royal Rumble preview that we did yesterday. But we got to get into our top news, which is all about Miss Krssi Love's favorite person in the world, WWE pushing for the return of Ronda Rousey tonight, possibly.
You have to go and beg for people to come to see your show, so you're going to have to call her. Great, thanks.
Oh, and
no problem.
This is how you draw people in. According to Fightful this week, WWE has been discussing a potential Ronda Rousey return internally to the point that it is considered a poorly kept secret, both backstage and to talent outside of the company even. Fightful notes that Rousey's name has been mentioned as a possible entrant in the Women's Royal Rumble match, with discussions also surrounding her having some participation in the match itself. Additionally, the report states that WWE sources believe it's a matter of when and not if that Rousey returns to the company. Rousey, who hasn't wrestled since, of course, WrestleMania 35 and gave birth to her first child last September. So this would be a really fast turnaround. And my wife is already saying it's not going to happen because of that turnaround. I think she hopes it doesn't happen. Dave Meltzer.
I feel the same way, ma'am. Thank you, Taya. Thank you, friend.
Dave Meltzer reported details on Rousey's rumored WWE return on Tuesday's Wrestling Observer Radio. While Meltzer presumed that Rousey would be at the Rumble this weekend, he reported that Rousey is scheduled to be at WrestleMania 38 in April for sure. So her appearing...
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Unless she's trying to one-up Becky Lynch, because Becky Lynch had a baby and then she came back. So now you want to be, I came back, faster than you did, bitch. So, you can do that part, what I'm saying? Because she already doesn't like each other. So, I had a baby, you had a baby. Let me come back. No, you come back, stuff like that. I mean, I'm not for it, but that's like my theory.
You know what? I never even thought of that, and I think that's 100% going to happen. I didn't even think of it until you mentioned it, but that's definitely going to be in one of their promos. Like, how long did you take off after you had a baby?
Right. And then and I didn't even know she had her baby. Like, I thought she was still pregnant because I don't really follow her because I really don't care. Anywho, That being said, yeah, so I was gonna be like, no, she's not coming back. But now that she had her baby in September, she probably will come back. But they wouldn't need her to come back if they just put their strength behind the women's division. But they don't do that. So you need a big star, whatever, to come to shine a light on this division that you guys don't care about.
Shine a light on it.
Yay!
So her appearing at the Rumble would likely set up a possible headline matchup with, of course, Becky Lynch is the rumor at WrestleMania. Meltzer also stated the impression he was given for Rousey is that WrestleMania 38 matchup will be against, of course, Becky Lynch. PW Insider also had some additional details on the rumored return of Ronda Rousey to WWE. According to PW Insider's report, at least one WWE official traveled to California last week in order to meet with Rousey. In addition, Rousey's makeup artist and stylist, when she last worked with WWE, Abraham Espinoza, is set to be at the Royal Rumble this weekend and the following Monday Night Raw. So
those hideous looking makeup and braids that she don't really even need, but whatever.
The cat eyes. The cat eyes.
It doesn't. Okay, whatever. What is she? What kind of baby does she have? A girl? Because if she had a girl, that's definitely getting written on is in the storyline for sure. What does she have?
I mean, Ronda can say she came back faster, but Becky can say I had the baby first and you left first.
Ooh.
So
we already got. See,
we already setting up the promos.
We already setting it.
Before the whole Ronda thing, which has kind of changed everything, I was under the impression, not that anybody told me this, because Asuka's going to be returning, right?
Yeah,
and that's something that they're building up for. What a natural story with Asuka, and that's, hey, listen, I gave you this title belt. I handed this to you. You never beat me for it. I gave it to you as a gift, and you dropped the ball, and look what you did. You couldn't do it. You couldn't keep the title. I think that would have been a natural story for them.
Right.
But like the person that's kind of falling. And listen, I don't know who's winning it.
I still, same. It's very unpredictable right now.
And I've heard stuff. I don't. This is the one show I don't like ruining for people. Because I love Rumble and I don't like the surprises. So like I kind of keep myself in the dark a little bit. But Bianca is the one right now.
Yeah.
What you do with her, I don't know what you do with her if you have all these different elements coming in.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that it seems like Bianca is kind of getting pushed to the back of the line because of this whole Ronda news. Multiple sources who are said to be aware of WWE's plans of the Royal Rumble also indicated it's all on Rousey at the moment whether or not she wants to pull the trigger on a WWE return. And WWE said to be ready for Rousey return and wants her to appear at WrestleMania 38. Of course, Nick Khan last year during an interview with Colin Cowherd said Ronda is going to be coming back at a certain point in time. And then Wrestling Observer newsletter confirmed that Rousey will be returning this year. She is under contract with WWE and her original deal was up, but either a new deal was put together or WWE froze her 3-year deal.
That's why they got to fire everybody because they got to pay her ass.
Come on, will you stop? She only really worked, of course, the first year and a few months of it. Andrew, do you think that WWE will benefit from a Ronda Rousey return?
Yeah, 100%. She was, looking at metrics and stuff. They're very into numbers now. They don't go by how they feel. They're looking at analytics, and when you look at these numbers, for casual fans, non-fans, a Ronda Rousey return is going to get you on Sports Center. You're going to be all over ESPN. You're going to be all over the news.
Great.
TMZ's picking it up, and that's really how they do things now. They operate like most media companies, and it's what can we do to get the most attention? Like, by the way, Brock Lesnar, right? What did he do this last night?
Nothing.
Did you see
body slam Wee Man through a dinner table.
Now, people watching then, they're like, oh my God, they're having, no, that's a PR stunt. They set that up. Brock Lesnar's not sitting there and having dinner with them. They set it up. They said this is going to be great. We're going to have really, like, I think people are like, oh yeah, he was hanging out and he picked them up and they were just having the fun. No, it was a PR moment. It was the movie studios, it's the PR agencies, it's Peacock. And by the way, all over the news today, right? TMZ picked it up. Every website is picking this up. It goes hand in hand with a movie that's coming out. So it's very strategic, everything they do. There's a reason why Ronda's coming back. She signed for a year or extended the deal for a year. I don't think she's going to be wrestling every week. She's going to be, I don't know what kind of deal it's going to be, how many times she's going to work, but a couple times a year. I have no problem with her a couple times a year as long as it's not messing up any kind of stories and it's also elevating regular talent. That when you do it that way, I'm fine with it. But when it becomes, Ronda Rousey, pinning Bianca Belair in 30 seconds, that's a little bit of an issue.
Oh, if she, you know what? Don't do that.
I put it in the universe. I'm so sorry.
That was your girl, Krssi, that did the 30-second pin. I'm just gonna put that out there. Ronda ain't do that to. Well, she did that to Alexa Bliss, but it was kind of at the point where Alexa Bliss was Teflon and she could do that. But but she didn't do it to Bianca Belair, who was built up as the biggest star in the world. But Krssi, my question.
It was a big stage. It was very wrong. Question for you guys before you ask me, SP. Yeah. Is she going to be a Royal Rumble entry, or is she going to come out at the end and like point and do the other shit that she did before?
It's all a mystery. It's all a mystery right now. It's just discussion being said. But of course,
stupid shit like that irked my nerves. Ugh, I'm cringing right now. Ew.
I'm really good at this. I can do it all day, ladies and gentlemen. All day. I can do this all day. Krssi, is it a foregone conclusion that if Ronda is in the Royal Rumble, she will win the Royal Rumble?
Probably so.
And how do you really feel about that? Krssi, you've been saying things under your breath. We're gonna give you the outlet. Let us know how you feel about the rumor of Ronda Rousey's return.
You know how I feel. I cannot stand. I don't like when people outshine the women that have been working very, very hard. You don't put any shine or you don't put anything behind these women. So now you're like, oh, let's bring this lady so she can be a part of the division that we've been trying to build up. No, you have not. You haven't done anything for these ladies. We have the same thing going on every fucking week. Dana Brooke is the 24/7 champion. Why? Where? Her and Rodney, they do a great thing. No,
Rodney?
Reggie. Excuse me. Reggie.
I'm gonna call him Rodney from now on.
I mean, Rodney. I mean, hey, listen. It is what it is. I mean, I just don't like that. I'll have to like, I can do like he said and just see her like once or twice. You know, I don't want to see her every week. Like, these girls work hard, and again, shame on Stephanie too, because you said you was going to do this thing for the women's division, and you're not doing that. Like, the girls are doing the same thing every week. I mean, like yesterday's segment in the beginning, like, why do we need all those people to come out? Then we bring Sasha out. Like, it wasn't that. Like, the segment could have been good, but then it went bad. Like, you didn't need all 5, 6, 7 women out there talking. It wasn't necessary. Like, it didn't even need to like happen. We got Natalya coming out, Aaliyah. Oh, I'm a Guinness World Record person. Great, wonderful. Now what? Now what? Tell me what else we're supposed to think about Natalya. I'll wait.
I mean, that wasn't even the worst part of it.
I mean, that's just one part of it.
I like Aaliyah, but that was rough when she had the mic.
Yeah.
That was rough. I literally woke up one of my twins because I was yelling at the TV, cut the mic. Cut her mic. Like, this is not good.
The segment was it did again. You bring Ronda. I know why you're doing it. It's strategic. It's money. The other people are doing very well and they're in, and you need something to look at the WWE side. I get all of this. This is all of them trying to get people to come in, be on ESPN. It's a media thing now. It's not even for fans anymore. It's all about media. How much buzz how much likes can we get? How much tweets can we get that say our name? They're all about cash now. They don't care. It's not authentic anymore. And it's sad because, like everyone else, we've been watching it for years. We love what we watch. And, it's just like, why bring this woman when these girls are working every week with the crap that you give them to work with? And now we're just going to say, oh, always they, always we, that we have to now do whatever Ronda's, around everything around her now. It's not, I don't think that is very fair. That's why I don't like when they bring people like that into this industry. That's all. And that was a nice version at that. That was
very nice.
I'm not gonna be saying fuck boys and all the other shit like that, because I mean, I can have a very much of a patty mouth friend down there, and it's just that we fuck her. That's it. Fuck that. Fuck her and of all her foolishness.
Wow.
Fuck it.
All right. Okay.
Now my mic is off.
Like, I had to talk to you. I had to talk to my wife this morning. I'm going to talk to you. Rising tide raises all ships. That's the saying that we need to go in with the Ronda Rousey return. Look, Krssi, just look at it this way.
Okay.
From WrestleMania 34 to WrestleMania 35. Remember back to that time period. Okay. Now think about everything in women's wrestling in WWE since WrestleMania 35. And tell me WWE didn't care more about the women from WrestleMania 34 to WrestleMania 35.
Okay, friend. Like,
and you know what's the interesting part? I think they do, and this says a lot. I think they do a better job with building their female talent than they do with their male talent.
Yes,
if you really think about it.
Okay.
I feel like I'm more invested in the top tier of the women's roster than I am with the men's roster, because the women's roster at least has 5 or 6 names that could intertwine and kind of
work with each other. You're right.
With each other. On the male
correct.
side.
Yes.
The male side, and by the way, and I think the women's roster is lacking now compared to what it was.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
But they still building. Just look at the top tier, right? We mentioned Bianca, Becky, Charlotte. I think Naomi's getting positioned in a top spot now. You have Rhea Ripley. I mean, very impressive when you look at her. They have maybe 6 or 7 top tier women that could contend for the world title, right? And now you add Ronda Rousey to it.
Yes.
On the men's side, who's after Seth? Yeah, on the SmackDown side, you got Seth, you got Roman, and you got Drew when he's healthy. On the Raw side, you got Lashley, you got Big E, Lesnar, but I mean, he's a special attraction, I guess, right?
Yeah.
You got Edge. But but Edge isn't even positioning himself in a world title position.
Edge don't care about that. Yeah.
So it's interesting to me how they have forgotten how to make a top tier, group of 4 or 5 people that could kind of contend with each other. That's the biggest problem. And this comes down to, having 20 some odd writers. And, if you're writing, let's say you get assigned to Bianca. You get assigned to Bianca or Becky. And now you write this great storyline for Bianca and Becky and, week 1, week 2, week 3. Now it goes to another person. Now it goes to another person. Now it goes to another person. By the time it's on TV, who the hell knows what the hell they're saying?
It's like a game of telephone. It's basically that.
It's not good. It's not a good way to do it.
It's not. Nope.
But that's an excellent point, Andrew, because my investment and my intrigue in the Women's Royal Rumble is 100 times more than that Men's Royal Rumble, because there's a lack of male stars and there's multiple female stars. You only named the active ones. We had Sasha Banks return last night.
There you go.
We got Bailey on her way back. We got Asuka on her way back. There's even been the possibility of Kairi Sane coming back. So all these names make it so much more interesting for the women in comparison of the men. But that leads me to my final question on this topic. Andrew, do you think there is a scenario that WWE can give us a Ronda Rousey match that doesn't include Becky Lynch at WrestleMania? Because we have seen WWE with the obvious dream match before, and the one that always comes to my mind is WrestleMania 31. Sting comes into the company, and you don't give us Sting and Taker, you give us Sting and Triple H, and people still talk about that, being frustrated with that decision. Do you think that WWE can give us Ronda versus Charlotte, Ronda versus Bianca, somebody else versus Ronda, and make it work without the fan backlash?
It has. In this scenario, it has to be Becky, because and this is what was said to me. That window of opportunity between Becky and Ronda, it's getting smaller.
Yes.
When people start families, people get married, your priorities shift, men and women. This isn't just the for the women wrestling, men
it's
and
for
women
men too.
You get older, you hit your 30s, your priorities are shifting, you become more committed to your family, you have a kid, maybe you have another kid. So that window of opportunity is shutting.
Yeah,
you have to do it now. It's very narrow. You have to do it now. I mean, but it's WWE, right? Mm-hmm. It happens. Sometimes they don't do that. We never saw Austin Hogan.
Nope.
We never saw. By the way, we never saw that teaser for Hunter and Rock that they did on Smackdown a couple years ago. They've put in place certain things, and I know that they have the goal to do them, but whatever happens, and it kind of veers off. My big fear with this is that it's not going to be Becky, it's going to be Charlotte. She enters the Rumble, she eliminates Charlotte, and maybe someone dumps out Ronda, and now you've started a Charlotte Flair feud, and now maybe, I don't know. I want this to be as simple stupid pro wrestling build-up as possible if this is the direction you're going. Yeah. Give that match. Mm-hmm. Let people see it. The ones that are going to be happy with that main eventing WrestleMania Night 1, great. Mm-hmm. And now you move on. Now you got that big WrestleMania main event moment for Becky and Ronda that they should have had years ago. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And now you move on to other things and you make stars with Ronda. That's how they should use her.
You know what also is a thing, like you said Charlotte's name, and I feel like Fox is in here talking in the background saying, yes, we want Ronda to come over to Fox. Like, she has to come on our shows. Like, she can't go to Raw. She was on Raw before. Let's have her come to Fox right now, because this is where Raw is at. Because they wasn't on Fox back when she came, right? So now this is where you point her in that line where I think Andrew, what he's saying is kind of true, where they're going to kind of like pivot and put it with Charlotte because it's the money value now. So she had this thing with, Becky, but Fox wants her here and we want the ratings here because we want to be on ESPN. We have to be on TMZ. We have to do this. It's the media cash cow now. Now we need this to be over on this show. She can't be on USA. We need.
Well, what if she wins and you milk it, right? She wins the Rumble, and now you milk. Where is she going to go for a while? And you put her on both shows.
That's another thing. You probably are absolutely right.
Because she does have unfinished business with Charlotte Flair. They
She
had their
does.
match
Both
at Survivor
ladies, yeah.
Series. Charlotte attacked her with the kendo stick. Ronda cost her the SmackDown Women's Championship the next month to Asuka. And we never got a rematch one-on-one between Charlotte and Ronda. So that I agree with Andrew that the play for them, because Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio last night already said that there is plans for Ronda to appear on SmackDown. So the play is for her to win the Rumble, and you can milk it for a whole month or at least through the buildup of Elimination Chamber of Ronda being on both shows trying to decide which champion she's going to go after. So, a lot of things at play and a lot of intrigue with Ronda Rousey's probable return tonight. We got Christopher Ryan Cooper in the live chat saying, "Good morning, everyone. Happy Royal Rumble Day." We got a question here for Andrew from the Negro Buck Nick Jackson. Thank you for your super chat donation. He says, what wrestler got Andrew into wrestling?
It has to be Warrior and Hogan.
Terrence, we call him Terrence over here, friend.
Terrence from Florida over here.
Yeah.
That's what
Terrence from Florida. It has to be that, but for me, like the thing that really, I was at SummerSlam 91 because I wanted to see the match made in hell and the match made in heaven and the match made in, it was the Savage Wedding and the 2-on-3, right? Yeah. I was dying for that. I was at the Garden. I was 6 years old, whatever I was. My father took me, my uncle took me. And the match that I left, that I was like, okay, I really like wrestling, was Bret Hart and Perfect. That was the match that made me into like a real, I like started like wanting the toys and everything. Like, I don't know why, like that match really stood out to me. And also the Road Warriors coming out. I couldn't believe that these guys exist in reality.
Perfect, get his flowers like he should.
That was
a trendsetter right there. That man.
But that's a great event. SummerSlam 91. I wish I could have. I would have been 3 years old going to that. That would have been a lot of fun doing that for sure.
Yeah, I think I was probably like 6 or 7.
There you go. You could have been there with Andrew.
I know.
I was 6 or 7. Was I 7 yet? I could have been 7.
There you go. We got the Negro Buck who says, I was going to try to ask JJ for my care package, but he might be mad at me since the Bengals won. Yes, that's why top guy JJ is not here with us this week, probably. Nick Jackson also says he renewed my Patreon subscription yesterday. Congrats. Thank you, sir. We got the MW Network who says, Rumble weekend, WWE wants some Forbidden Door hype. Cody or major indies name making a one-off appearance in the Rumble. If Mickey in the women's Rumble is viral, they want the same for the men's Royal Rumble. Do you think there's any chance, Krssi, that we get a Forbidden Door entrant that has never been in WWE? Because I
really don't think so. I mean, Mickey James was like really a stretch, and I think they really like had to go with their tail in between their legs. Kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say begging, but hey girl, what you doing? We got this thing, coming up in January. Just wanted to know if you're free. No pressure, but we'll give you what you want. Not in a trash bag this time either, too. So
the hey big head text, basically. That's what you're trying to say.
Hey girl, you busy on that, this random like Saturday? Come over to St. Louis they're in?
You can find me in St. Louis when the gun blaze all day. Jose Gonzalez says, "What's up, True Hill fam? What up, Sid, Krssi, and Andrew Zarian? Happy Rumble Day! Everybody's excited for the Rumble." We also got Heel Steven says, "I mean, will people still be upset if Ronda wins? But everyone gets their wish that the Women Rumble main events, like everyone has been craving for on Twitter. Do you guys think the Women's Royal Rumble is main eventing tonight?"
Okay, so I spoke about this yesterday. The last 2 years, besides the very first one, the other ones have been very lackluster. And last year we know why it was, because we didn't have any fans or whatever, but they were very underwhelming. Besides, like the ending of like last year's, that's just me.
Yeah,
I don't think that the women were shined or they didn't do as good as they did the very first one. And that could be because of what they were given, who was entered into the Royal Rumble. So I'm hoping this year will be a bigger and better one. So I do hope that they do, put on the right show that they deserve. I think there's a lot of pressure for these women So I do. If Ronda is supposed to become, they definitely are going to main event.
I mean, I would say that the women's Royal Rumble was better than the men's Royal Rumble last year, especially with the Bianca and Rhea stuff. And Bianca was in the match for an hour, so she was always doing something interesting, whether it was with Bayley or Naomi, stuff like that. They were better last year.
She was telling stories in between stories.
The 2020 Royal Rumble had Bianca eliminating and Shayna Baszler eliminating a whole bunch of girls and Charlotte winning, so I know Romeo enjoyed that one. And 2019, Becky winning was better than Seth winning the men's Royal Rumble. So
that was the first one, though.
No. 2018 was the first one. That was that was in Philly. That was their live.
Take away my statement, sir, from the court, so that they erase it out of their memory. You said it right, Frank. Go ahead.
Andrew, do you think that the women's Royal Rumble main events?
I'll know in about 3 hours.
He knows already. I love it. He knows the answer. He can't speak on it.
Yeah, Andrew. I just saw Andrew's eyes looking down. He looked at his phone to see, like, can I get that?
I'll know in like 3 hours. You know, it depends on what you're doing with the men's Rumble. I talk to people regularly there, and I was like, man, you know, if Ronda comes, the women's Rumble is going to be big. He goes, yeah, but we got something planned for the men's. So
I'll see, but then you know,
I don't know if they're talking about like their surprises. Listen, I personally, I don't want to see another Roman and Brock match. Okay,
no, I don't.
Let me just say that. Yeah, however, there's one Roman and Brock match I want to see, and it has nothing to do with Roman and Brock. I want to see title versus title.
Yeah,
because but that is the match. You know,
it is the match.
I will say that is the match. They're gonna have this match, and Roman and Brock are gonna have this match at WrestleMania. So
let's go.
How do you up the ante, right? Like I don't. I've seen it, and they have good matches. Roman's fantastic. Brock, you know, this weirdo cowboy that he is now.
Yes,
with a little man bun. I'm digging it. But I don't want to see them again. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Motaro, right? He's Motaro. No, Garo or Motaro?
The one with the arms. He has like
there were
four
of them.
There
were two of them.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the answer. I'm sorry.
I think there were two of them. It could be a false memory that was put in.
See, if my husband's here, he could answer. He could tell me the answer. Yeah. And I can't call him right now, so I'll get an answer. Don't worry. By the end of the show.
You know, we're all three of us. We don't really like. Okay, fine. We've seen this match 500 times. We've seen it in every possible way. What makes this important? One final match. You know what? You want to solidify Roman as the man. I mean, he is. Have him beat Brock and have both belts, and say nobody could beat me. Nobody could beat me. And what happens that next Friday? Somebody comes out and it's a real challenger for Roman. So now you make somebody else. You know, we could talk about writing philosophy and booking philosophy, but at the end of the day, you know, they could still screw it up. It could end up being, you know, just for the Universal title. It could end up being something else. I don't know how they get there, but they're going to end up getting there. And I just hope it's title versus title because it adds something more to night two. And by the way, night two is not selling as good as night one.
Of course not.
100-seat arena, I mean, stadium, 2 nights in a row is a tough sell. And that's why they
the 2 nights.
No, why not?
Oh, there you go. Thank you. Someone, you know what? I need that photo, man. That's fantastic.
Oh my God.
We got you.
That is it. That's him right there. That is it. Great. That's great, man. Good job, Romeo.
Nicely done, Romeo. Nicely done. But I mean, the
that was all Johnny. That was all Johnny.
Oh, Johnny. Well done, Johnny.
Fantastic.
Well done, Johnny. I agree with Andrew that title versus title gives it something. I would love for it to be title versus title, no rules, no disqualification. Paul Heyman, special guest referee. I think that's the way you blow it off. You make it as big. He raises
Roman's hand at the end.
You make it as big as possible, and you pay off the whole real story, which is about Paul Heyman being in the middle, and he has to be the special guest referee.
I think Paul Heyman in a shark cage. Ideas.
Paul Heyman in a shark cage. You know they love them shark cages.
I also want to see Vince in a shark cage when Shane McMahon and Austin Theory fight over the love of Vince McMahon.
I want to see Vince hanging above the ring. I want a ladder match between Shane and Austin Theory, and I can see Shane trying to outdo Cody and Sammy in trying a whole bunch of crazy stunts.
I'm into it. Everybody in a shark cage.
We just created a whole bunch of new matches for WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen. We got Annika who says, "I'm with you, Miss Krssi. Wasn't anybody checking for Ronda? And Lord, please don't let it be Ronda versus Charlotte." So you got someone in agreement with you, Krssi. See, look at that. Annika even clapping for you.
Thanks, girl. Why you gotta put the middle finger up at me, friend? That's not nice.
Jose saying, "Whoa, that mouth, Krssi."
I was trying to be good. They provoked me, okay? I'm so sorry. I was being I told you I put the nice thing on. Then SB just kept poking the bear, poke, and he made me say the F word. See?
Alan Weinstein said, "With Krssi, F Ronda Rousey."
Fantastic.
This is you might be on your. You might be on your Rumble Mania status right now with memes, Romeo.
Oh my god!
Wow. Ronald Curtis with the super chat.
That hair did look good on me though. That was some nice looking hair though. I might do that color.
Oh, Raleigh Curtis with a super chat donation. Thank you, sir. I wonder if some fans are still upset over Rousey's comments from April 2020, where she called pro wrestling fake fights for fun. She called WWE fans ungrateful and said, "Fuck WWE fans." Both fans and wrestlers were angry, and that's exactly what I think Ronda wanted.
Yeah, that's what you wanted.
like I don't understand why people consistently always say, "Oh, don't get worked. Wrestling's a work," and then proceed to always get worked and take Ronda seriously when she's obviously working. Like, I don't understand.
Work yourself into a shoot, brother.
Yep.
You know, Terrence from Florida tried to tell us this. Don't work yourself into a shoot. We got a question here for Andrew. Nick Jackson says, "What are Andrew's thoughts on future AEW Triple Crown champion Hook?"
Everybody loves Hook, man. Everybody loves Hook. Send Hook.
Absolutely.
He's Hook. There you go. See, everybody loves Hook. Listen, he's on a roll. He's 22 years old, good-looking kid. He's people are into him. He was a naughty boy in New York City a couple of weeks ago. You know, I think we all saw the videos.
Yes,
of him
we
at
did.
Sapphire. I had nothing to do with that. I just want to let everybody know.
I heard he got his tickets from someone some guy named Andrew Zarian or something.
Possible.
Like that.
I don't know. He was there. I don't know. I don't know anything about that place or him.
just in case.
Antonio Brown. You know what's hysterical? Antonio Brown was also there, and no one gave a shit that Antonio Brown was there.
Cause Hook greater than Antonio Brown. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, we just got a scoop here from Zarian.
What?
Hook is more over than Antonio Brown. You walk off the football field, it's all about Hook. The other top news that we got to talk about is an interesting one. WWE calls Jeff Hardy for return and Hall of Fame induction.
Oh, come on.
And Hardy declines. Jeff Hardy was released from WWE in December, as we discussed before, after he reportedly turned down the company's offer of rehab. The offer was made after Hardy left in the middle of a match at a live event, but his brother Matt denied that he had a relapse. Hardy is currently waiting out his 90-day non-compete clause, which expires on March 9th. And the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that John Laurinaitis called Hardy a few weeks ago about a return, which would have included being inducted into the Hall of Fame as part of the class of 2022, and Hardy turned them down. Hardy also asked for his drug test results from WWE as he knew he wasn't going to test positive. It took WWE 6 weeks to finally get the results back to Hardy and his wife. It's believed they made him an offer because they do not want him in AEW. The concern is that a reunited Hardy boys in the company would get some buzz, particularly with programs with some of the teams in the company like the Young Bucks. AEW cannot make an offer to him until after his non-compete clause expires. The general belief is that if he doesn't return to WWE, then he will likely join his brother in AEW. Andrew, what does this tell you about WWE's decision making? Because this is, I feel like we have to kind of bunch this decision, this knee-jerk decision to kind of release Jeff Hardy in along the lines of stupid decisions that we've seen from WWE, like not knowing when Adam Cole's contract expires, not knowing how many days non-complete Malachi Black does. This seems like a blunders that are happening more consistent right now, don't you think, Andrew?
So the Jeff Hardy thing is pretty complicated because his drug test results showed that he had no drugs in it, illegal narcotics in his system, but it doesn't really explain that weird match that he had, right?
Mm-hmm.
It also doesn't explain a lot of the bizarre behavior that was happening leading up to that. I know certain things that have happened. He's beloved, by the way. Everybody loves him. Nobody, and
nobody doesn't.
And I don't like going into people's personal things at all, ever on the show. Even like the COVID stuff, I never talk about it. Even the vax stuff. Like there was a big story came out that certain people were released due to their vax status. I know the names. I don't go into it, but I think for Jeff's situation was I think WWE tried to create a paper trail. And it kind of fell, but I don't necessarily think WWE was in the wrong of the release. Okay. However, Jeff stuck to his guns and said, "Listen, I don't have a problem. I'm not going to rehab. I'm not going to do it. I'll whatever this is, he'll manage it on his own." And now WWE, they called his bluff more than anything else. They lost him, and now they're it's more business than let me look out for Jeff and send him to rehab at this point, right? It's more we don't want to lose him to AEW. Because, that last tour at the Hardys together will be a big box office draw for them if they're putting him in against the Bucks on national TV or against, Lucha Bros or whoever. You can mix and match all you want. I think it's far more complicated. I don't think, and, everybody likes to point a finger at WWE because they do boneheaded stuff every now and then, but I don't think they were necessarily in the wrong with their stance on this because they recognized that there was something going on with him. Firing him might have been a little too early for them. I think they were under the impression that they're going to fire him, this test is going to pop, and they're going to be in the right with this. But, they had their reasoning, and it's unfortunate because, Jeff's an unbelievable talent. He's a superstar. In every way of the word, still gets a huge pop, beloved, and you just want to see him do great, and that's not going to be in WWE.
Nope.
Unfortunately, not. Krssi Love, what's your reaction to this whole situation with Jeff Hardy declining an offer to come back to WWE?
I think Andrew said most of everything that we're all thinking, to be honest. But yeah, I think WWE thought, called his bluff. They thought that he would probably have gone to rehab and did everything he was supposed to do, and he wasn't going to leave. And he was like, "No, I think it's time for me to go." Now we can't explain what he did leading up to that match or why he left, but he said he didn't do anything, and the paperwork shows it. But we still don't know. We're still assuming, and
didn't they put him in a drunk driving angle?
Yes.
Right? Think of that, right? You want him so bad and you recognize that he has a problem. Obviously, he has some sort of, historically, he has a sensitivity to these things, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're now being like, "Hey, listen, you're one of the greatest wrestlers we've created in the last 20 some odd years. How about this? You have an alcohol problem, right? Let's put you in a drunk driving angle." It's like the Scott Hall thing. The guy is on medication so he doesn't drink, and it makes him very ill. And what do? You pour beer all over him.
They also had him in a bar fight.
They had him in a bar. Yeah, there you go.
God,
they had him.
I forgot all about that. Oh my God.
You know what I hate? I hate hypocrisy, right?
Yes.
You could be right and you could be wrong, but I would rather you be right or wrong. I'd rather you be wrong all the time rather than being a hypocrite because you're preaching that you want to, you're for the talent and their safety and this is a different company, but yet you have someone that has an alcohol problem, obviously. Historically,
you put him in an angle, and have him driving and crash and supposedly hurts another wrestler,
and right after he did have an actual DUI.
Yeah, that was the craziest part to me.
But the Usos are walking around with no problems. Just saying.
That's a whole nother Pandora's box that you're opening up there.
If they weren't related to Roman.
Yeah, it probably. I don't know if it would be the same scenario or not.
Maybe that's why Naomi can't get no shine because she's married to the drunk driver that keeps getting in trouble.
Naomi got some shine last night, so which we will talk about for sure. But Romeo, what tag teams do you want to see face the Hardy Boys if they do reunite?
All of them. Can I just say that?
All of them, just all of them.
I do have a meme here. You're wondering, Romeo, how can you make a meme off a drug test? Real simple. Processing Jeff Hardy's drug test.
Oh my god!
Not a slow.
Nicely done. Yes, and we've established on this show that I do have a significant other that does work in WWE and did work in like drug testing and stuff. And she said that is preposterous that it took 6 weeks. It usually takes 2 weeks. The longest. The longest it will take is 2 weeks to get back the results.
You know what they're trying to? They're trying to like use COVID. Like yeah. See, and that's what I'm saying. COVID time.
We're on the same page.
Yep, y'all hit it at the same exact time.
We was on it. We was ready. Yep. COVID.
And the holidays.
I deal with the corporate bullshit excuses.
Yeah.
24 hours a day. And I've heard every COVID excuse.
Yes. Yep.
You could ever imagine for why things are not being done.
Yep.
I'm not going to give the scenario, but my wife had to recertify for something recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And normally, it all it takes is you do the process.
Yep.
You send an email, and the person clicks a check mark.
Button. Yep.
A button. That's it. They told her 14 weeks.
For her to get recertified, yep.
To get the recertification, 14 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she got it done in like a day because she is beyond persistent, and she got. but most people would be like, "Oh crap, it's 14 weeks." And when you ask, they're like, "Oh, COVID, it's a COVID thing."
Nobody's working. No one's here. We're overworked. We're understaffed. Yep.
No, it's nice to use it as a nice cushion. Listen, I no longer go to weddings because of this. It's been wonderful for me. I'm so sorry. I can't.
Not like Larry David.
It's too soon.
Right.
It's too soon. I can't. And it'll be too soon for the next 20 years. I have my excuse now.
That's serious. I said to myself, I was gonna pick one event this month, either the World on GCW or St. Louis. I was like, it's less work, and I won't catch anything getting on a train, maybe, to 34th Street in comparison to getting on a plane.
I don't know, dude. I saw that crowd at that GCW show.
It was interesting, to say the least.
Matt Cardona spit in a fan's face.
Yeah, CM Punk kid, right?
Hired.
Yeah, Mittens.
Yeah, Mittens. Is that what he goes by now? He goes by Mittens? No more CM Punk kid.
No.
I just see him at Evolve all the time.
He's at Evolve, GCW, and now our producer just messaged me. His new name is Spittens.
Spitting.
Spitting. We got a comment here from the Negro Buck who says the Fed needs to hold this L high. They jumped the gun and fucked up. Also, how does it take 6 weeks to get a drug test back? There's a lot of different questions in regards to this for sure. Annika says you can't call relapse and say, man, our bad. True. You can't say that they're a drug addict and then you get the test results and like, oh, that's our mistake. Annika says, but y'all knew Nick Khan impulsively firing people was gonna catch up with him sooner or later. Yep. This does, you could say that it's a knee-jerk decision for sure. Nick Jackson says they did the same shit to Road Warrior Hawk back in the 90s. Yeah, this is not the first time
he fell off the Titantron.
And we never got. Did we ever get a follow up for that?
Won't be the last time.
I'm pretty sure it never got followed. Like that is one of the more famous angles of the Attitude Era that just never got followed up on. Bob Babito says I would like to see Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy versus FTR. Me myself, I want to see Lucha Bros versus the Hardy Boys. Even though I feel like the styles might not mesh too well, I think that Jeff Hardy and Rey Fenix need to be in a ring like ASAP. That's what I want to see. And
Ladder match.
Darby and Sting versus the Hardy Boys. That's one that I haven't heard a lot of people say, but Jeff Hardy and Darby Allin need to be in the ring. And
Jeff
of
Hardy's
course,
redemption.
Yep. And of course, you know that the AEW references everything in the wrestling world. So we're going to get a reference to Victory Road 2011 if Jeff Hardy and Sting cross paths. What we missed from the week, we missed last night AEW Rampage. They had Jurassic Express defeat Private Party to retain the AEW World Tag Team titles. Post-match, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus were attacked by the Ass Boys, aka the Gun Club. John Moxley beat Anthony Bowens in a very good opener to the show.
Yes, yep.
You also had Jade Cargill defeat Julia Hart to retain the TBS title, and FTR beat Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson. Anything from Rampage that stood out the most to you, Krssi?
Definitely the opening. I love the what's that man named Bowens, and what's the other kid? What's their name?
Max Caster.
Max Caster.
He is even if his raps don't hit every week, him and Bowen just being mad hype on each other, like he's the hype man for a reason, is golden. Beautiful. Well done. I think the opening for that show was great. I didn't see the ending because I was recording our, wrap up of Smackdown for Teddy Turnbuckle. Cheap plug. Anywho, but yeah, I think the opener was great, especially for John Moxley to be there. We already knew who's gonna win, but I think it was really good. I think he held his own in there, so it was really good for Bowen, to be honest. Like, no one can say, I fought John Moxley, guys. I remember seeing him, when in an indie show. Like, this is, and he was, it was amazing. So yes.
I said it last night on Smack Talk. The Acclaimed is turning into this generation's New Age Outlaws for me.
Yo, that is
big time.
Caster is Road Dogg, and Bowens just keeps delivering in the ring and is the consistant worker that Billy Gunn was back in the day. So
that is a good comparison. SP, I wouldn't have even thought of that. That is really, really good. Yes, that was our generation. Now this generation has the Acclaim. Nice.
There you go. WWE SmackDown was also last night. We saw the return of Sasha Banks declaring for the Women's Royal Rumble match and throwing Charlotte Flair over the top rope following a revolving door promo with other ladies, including that Aaliyah, who had a cool shirt. The 317 shirt was cool, but
what is the 317 standing for her?
I think she needs Robert Stone on the main roster, ladies and gentlemen. Naomi defeated Sonya Deville in what turned into a very good matchup. But Deville declared herself for the Rumble as well. Seth Rollins once again got into the head of Roman Reigns ahead of tonight, bringing up their pass and avoiding the Superman punch. And an excellent Joker suit that he had on as well. Andrew, what was the highlight for you on SmackDown last night?
On SmackDown, I would say,
it's okay, friend. It's not a lot.
You know what it was? Like the women's segment, like Sasha returning, that was a big deal, but like it got muddied, and even the finish, the final, the face to face, that I guess that would have been it, for building it, but I don't think it was a great go home for Rumble.
Nope.
Like they didn't really make me like I thought Monday Night Raw, which wasn't fantastic. I thought they did a better job at building the Lashley Brock match because I want to see that.
Yeah,
I want to see because and one thing that they haven't done well, or maybe I missed it, maybe you guys saw it. Have they alluded to the fact that people have wanted to see Lashley and Brock for almost 20 years since 2003?
I think they did like that video package 2 weeks ago where they kind of talked about it, but they haven't like, I like when they bring back like the legends and talk about a matchup like that. Makes the matchup feel bigger. And it feels like Brock versus Bob should have been one of those matchups that they did this for.
I mean, everything about Bobby Lashley's return to WWE was pointing to the Lashley match. Yes. And again, what did they do with him, right? You got Bobby Lashley, which he's an anomaly, right? This man is from the planet of rocks. He doesn't look. I mean, Brock, like they don't look normal. These are titans. Vince would say, they're statues. And you got a guy like Bobby Lashley that's like 400 years old. He's ageless. And what do? You have him come out and strut his ass on TV weekly.
Oh,
Right?
man,
Wasn't
I
that
remember
his gimmick?
Yeah. Leo Rush
Yeah.
pointing to his ass. every
Leo
week,
Rush
yeah.
would just point at his ass and he would just strut his ass, and you're like, what the hell are they doing with this guy?
Right.
They
Yeah.
put him into Hurt Business, which would have been one of the best stables.
Yeah.
They killed that
And they killed that. Yeah,
Twice.
they killed that. So
twice. Yeah, twice. Right.
it's baffling, but at the end of the day, you know, this is like the best of OVW ever created. This is like that final dream OVW match that we've never seen, and that's two of Vince's favorites, Bobby Lashley and
Batista.
and who?
Brock Batista. We still got that.
Brock Batista. We never
Tired.
saw. Yeah, that's another.
true.
I don't know if we'll ever get that. I think Batista.
I don't think we will. Yeah.
I think the chance to do that was like WrestleMania 30 when because instead of doing Batista winning the Rumble, they should have done Batista versus Brock and then
Blutista.
Blutista, yes, and then do Cena versus Taker. Cena probably. I always stand by Cena or Roman should have ended the streak.
Was there Batista Lashley?
Batista Lashley.
Lashley? No. I think they only mixed it up in like a fatal 4-way with Finley and Booker during like his early
great
run.
memory, dude.
Yeah.
See,
He's like
that's the hole. That's the hole I have. There's a hole in my brain that from like wrestling. It's like 2007. Like it's like around that era, like post Benoit.
Yes,
I totally fell out of wrestling after that whole thing.
Same.
And then CM Punk brought me back. So
that period is very weird, especially like the world title scene on SmackDown, because it was like I think Edge cashes in Money in the Bank on Undertaker, but then he gets injured. Then they do that stupid battle royal where Great Khali wins the world title. Then the world title goes to Batista. Then it winds. Yeah, it was very, very topsy turvy, and so I understand if you have a hole and you just forgot
big hole, big hole in my brain.
Same. Yep.
Also, what we missed this week, AEW Dynamite Beach Break. They did a huge rating, 1.1 million viewers, up from last week, slightly down in 18 to 49. But the show opened with an epic ladder match with Sammy Guevara defeating Cody Rhodes to become the undisputed TNT champion, with one of the most impressive spots you will ever see in a ladder match, a springboard cutter from one ladder to another by Sammy Guevara. Sammy was basically Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 10 or Jeff Hardy at WrestleMania 2000. He had a one-match performance that needs to be remembered. Orange Cassidy beat Adam Cole in a lights out match, which also featured the AEW debut of Danhausen. CM Punk and MJF had another fantastic promo exchange, setting the stage for the first time ever showdown on next Wednesday's Dynamite in Chicago. And we should also note Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Radio rated Cody versus Sammy 5 stars, and Danhausen is officially all elite. So a lot to unpack from this week's Beach Break. Romeo, what was the highlight for you from the night?
Definitely Sammy versus Cody. I mean, that was a good ladder match. 5 stars. I don't know about that, but okay.
What do you rate it, friend?
It's a high 4 stars. So I'm not going to argue stars. Let's not do all that. What else was I gonna say? I just the Cody 1 week reign. 1 week interim title. That was kind of silly in hindsight.
Well, we could kind of see now after this matchup that Cody was probably going to lose at Battle of the Belts to Sammy. Like I feel like this was just a run for Cody to revitalize Sammy's run, because Sammy's run was kind of petering out before our eyes with the TNT title, but he feels elevated after this ladder match to me.
Okay.
So what did you any highlights that you guys want to mention? Danhausen debuting. What was your thoughts, Zarian?
I'm a big Danhausen fan. I think it's absurd. I'm into the macabre. I'm into like the whole Nosferatu hands. The fingers, like this finger thing, I don't know why. Like it like I always find what people like very interesting, right? Like we all like different things, and why? Why do we like that? Like I don't know why I like Danhausen.
Because it creeps you out, but you're intrigued about it, though.
I'm really intrigued by it because it breaks the norm.
Yes.
You know, like it totally breaks the like what a wrestler is, which I'm into. But you know, here's one thing: like I'm not that crazy about Orange Cassidy. Right? Like I get why people like him. I don't dislike him. It doesn't do much for me.
Understood.
So
it's very
like everybody has their things, man. Everybody has what they like, what they don't like, and like I'm very big on respecting other people. Like I don't poo-poo on your parade, like, and I don't want people to do that to me. I'm not big on that. So, you know, I think it's cool. I think variety is great. I don't know why, man. I'm really into Danhausen.
I loved his new music video. If you haven't seen it already, go out of your way to see the Ass Boys music video that he dropped on his YouTube and Twitter yesterday. Great stuff.
Can I ask Andrew something about Orange Cassidy? Are you fine with him beating Adam Cole, and are you fine with the notion that it doesn't count on Adam Cole's record?
So I'm fine with the notion that it doesn't count. I thought the finish went over people's heads.
Yeah.
Because what's his finisher called, by the way?
Beach break.
Okay, his finisher is called beach break. He beat him by hugging him and just dumping himself over the stage.
Yep.
It looked wacky to me. Like, I didn't like the ending. I think if he had hit him with the beach break, it would have been a much better ending. I think Cole fell a little awkward too.
A while later.
On that. I listen, they try something creative, right? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. On paper, things look a lot different than in execution. I don't really hold it against them. I think they tried a unique finish that didn't work for me, but maybe it worked for other people. You know, I could be wrong, and I'm always fine with that. I'm fine with saying I could be wrong on this, but it didn't work for me. I thought hugging him and holding him there, and Adam Cole's not doing anything. He's just looking around, you know, like, all right, whatever, you know, but I'm fine with it not counting. I get the whole, you're trying to protect the undefeated thing. It kind of adds more to it because the feud's probably not over now, and he'll get his revenge, and Cole will go back into, you know, I don't know, when Kenny comes back, they do something.
Still better than what Cole would be doing on the main roster right now.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's hear about that.
What would he be doing on the main roster? He obviously wouldn't be managing Keith Lee.
No, he wouldn't be doing that. I could see him
almost.
he would be feuding with Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boots.
He'd have a bald head too.
Maybe.
You think they would have cut his hair?
Nah.
Man, you know, I don't want to. There have been people that are very critical of Adam Cole on the main roster, and it was evident that his detractors were out on after Wednesday's match.
Oh yeah, they were like, he's not doing anything. He's buried in AEW. He lost a match that doesn't count, ladies and gentlemen, and he lost a match that literally the match shouldn't have happened unless Orange Cassidy was going to win, because he's beaten Orange Cassidy in every other matchup. So this was literally for Orange Cassidy. AEW likes to complete their feuds with the babyface going over. So I don't think this is going to continue.
Except when Orange faced Matt Hardy.
Oh man, yeah, that was. Look, they actually. I think the blow off to that should I guess in retrospect, it was the Orange Cassidy and Tomohiro Ishii versus Butcher and Blade. That was the real blow off to that angle, apparently, because they won.
Not in my eyes.
We also got MCAS here saying, finally, I hope the Naomi storyline is finished.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you.
Nope, it's not over, terrible. Friend.
It's just beginning.
We're literally 5 months into the storyline, and we still don't know why Sonya doesn't like Naomi. I think that is probably a record for WWE. I don't think they ever done a storyline where we don't know why it's going on this far in. A super chat donation from Rollin Curtis. Sasha nonchalantly returning on SmackDown instead of the Rumble, and Charlotte nonchalantly wearing her version of her father's 1992 Rumble robe on SmackDown instead of the Rumble means neither will win. How do you feel about that, Romeo?
Anytime someone puts down Charlotte, hey Romeo, what do you think?
Absolutely, that's the kind of the gimmick here.
I'm just gonna say, Rollin Curtis, thank you for the super chat.
I liked Charlotte's outfit. I think the earrings were a bit much, but I thought she looked great yesterday.
But the bodysuit?
The bodysuit was very nice. She didn't need the earrings to go because the bodysuit was so much. The earrings was just too much. If she had like a nice small stud or something smaller, the whole look would have been a great package. Because hair was laid, makeup was great, outfit was great, shoes were a banger. Though I don't even know how she was walking in the ring because those stilettos are super, super skinny. And
She's
when
so
you're walking in, huh?
She's so talented at everything.
At walking.
Those,
Yeah, that's the letters make her about
either
6'8".
Versace or McQueen shoes. I'm not sure which ones they were.
And Andrew's absolutely right. Like, she looked like a giant out there, especially when Sasha kind of like tried to look tough to her. I was like, you gonna hurt your neck looking up.
The front of the shoe alone is a big platform. So everything is just, it was very high. So again, she looked amazing, but yeah, I don't know how she would like it. I think that's why she kept moving, because of to be steady, because the shoes were like a lot.
Probably. So Annika says Cole's balls hurt so much he couldn't get out of the hug. Yeah, I totally agree with Andrew. Like, that finish didn't work for me. And if your show's called Beach Break and you have a babyface whose finisher is called Beach Break, you should probably have him win with Beach Break.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that just makes sense. So a rare
for the show to be called Beach Break, nothing really was related to beach, like nothing. They had nothing. It was nothing there.
Where were they? They were in Cleveland?
Yes. And that Team Taz promo told you exactly how the weather was in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's the closest to the beach you got.
Yes. Yes. And that was a great promo for them. I thought they were amazing. Even though it was freezing as hell. It was freezing to poor Tony Schiavone, but they looked amazing.
Powerhouse Hobbs put on overalls and a mink coat and just went out there. He was gangster.
Speaking of promos, can we talk about how great Andrade was on Rampage?
Andrade was
Why are you
fantastic.
so crazy? Relax. I want to see your boss.
Dude, Andrade is my favorite character, okay? Because when I dress up, I look like a Wish version of him. Okay?
Yo, not Wish, yo.
I love
that AliExpress.
I'm like the AliExpress version of Andrade. I gotta tell you, man, this dude comes out there and he's like Wish, and he's like Sting and his boy. He's like, I need to see Sting and his boy. What is his boy doing, right? And he comes in and goes, "Where's your boss?" And he is unintentionally hysterical.
Yes.
With everything he's doing. I just, God, why is he not in these main event matches?
Yeah. Yes.
Right? That's
main
my
event
question.
match. One. That was on Rampage. I mean Dynamite, right?
That was the match with Cody in Atlanta that he was in the main event.
With the fire, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're setting up Andrade versus Darby for Revolution, which I'm excited for. I'm looking forward to that. But I generally agree with Andrew and Romeo that Andrade's whole character, not understanding the concept of friendship, is hilarious to me. And I think that's one of the most hilarious traits of any character in wrestling right now. That this man has no idea what friendship is.
Hey, I'll buy you, right? Isn't that his thing?
He thought Pac owned the Lucha Bros, and now he thinks Sting owns the Darby Allin. It's great. It's honestly great. We also missed during the week the World on GCW, huge event from the Hammerstein Ballroom right here in New York City. Nick Gage made his triumphant return, teaming with Matt Tremont to beat the Briscoes to win the GCW World Tag Team titles. You also saw Jon Moxley defeat Homicide to retain the GCW World Championship. Matt Cardona, in a fever pitch of a match, beat Joey Janela in a crazy brawl that featured cameos from Virgil, Hornswoggle, Marco Stunt, Brian Myers, and X-Pac in the post match. Ruby Soho defeated Ali Catch. Jeff Jarrett beat Effie. Team Gringo defeated Team Bandito in what was the match of the night, in my opinion. And AJ Gray won the Grab the Brass Ring ladder match. Fight TV did confirm.
I found out it wasn't actually a ring. It was like a sonic circle.
You were there. How did you find that out afterwards?
When I got it, remember, I was like, what is that? You don't remember. No, you wasn't even upstairs with us. That's why.
I was all over the place. Fight TV confirmed.
I asked JJ, I was like, where's the ring at? He was like, it's right there. I'm like, where? He was like, that circle. That's right. I was like, it's not a ring that you put on your brass ring.
How are you supposed to raise that from the rafters? Like, that's too small.
I didn't know what to... It doesn't matter.
Fight TV confirmed that the World on GCW was the most successful event for the promotion to air on Fight. And Krssi, since this was your first GCW event, what was your live perspective being there?
I had a great time. I was very surprised at a lot of. I was like, wow, there's a lot of things just went out the window that day. Like there's not, it's not a regular wrestling show. Like there's no like, niceness. It was it was like a hood show for me. It was great. I felt really at home.
Yeah, yes. Hearing Waka Flocka at any wrestling show.
No, the music. It was the music for me. It was the music for me. It was a great. It was like a good party.
It was a great time. WWE finished. They had their week start off with Raw and NXT 2.0. They did 593,000 viewers. Cameron Grimes defeated Tony D'Angelo thanks to a returning Pete Dunne. MSK beat Jacket Time, and GYV defeated Chase U to advance in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, while Tommaso Ciampa returned to back up Braun Breaker against Legado del Fantasma. Over on...
Go ahead.
What happened?
I don't understand what they are doing at NXT right now. It's just like, so I fought with this kid. He beats me. Now I'm going to be his friend and help him.
Romeo, you care to explain?
They earned each other's respect, pretty much. That's the easy way to put it.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
I did have some time to make something here, though. Andrew said the wish list of Andrade.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it so much. That's great. WWE Raw this week. They did 1.7 million viewers. There was the weigh-in that Andrew was talking about earlier with Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, and the fact that we have MVP and Paul Heyman in this feud, and we have yet to hear them do a promo exchange, tells you that Brock and Bobby are stepping up. AJ Styles beat Austin Theory in a really good matchup. You also had a fun spelling bee with RK Bro versus Alpha Academy, which led to another good match on the night with Randy Orton defeating Chad Gable, and then Damian Priest once again snapped, bringing out Damian, causing a DQ in his U.S. title defense against Kevin Owens. Andrew, are you surprised that MVP and Paul Heyman have done no promos in this entire rivalry between Brock and Bobby Lashley?
Yeah, tremendously. I think that's by design, obviously. Yeah. I don't know why. Maybe it's going into something else. Maybe maybe this isn't a Paul Heyman thing, right? The Paul Heyman thing is Roman. So they're keeping it. They don't want him to continue that story. So maybe that's kind of where they're headed.
That's what it kind of does seem like, that they're kind of letting Brock kind of explore, talking on his own before Heyman's going to play more of a role for WrestleMania. So
it might be part of like Brock just not caring about Lashley, not taking him seriously at all.
And so Heyman doesn't need to boost him up. He knows he could beat Bobby Lashley. And then the final show that we missed during the week, Impact on SCTV, had Honor No More once again making their presence known. PCO defeating Chris Sabin in the main event. Also, the announcement of Honor No More versus Team Impact at No Surrender. Mickie James had a State of the Knockouts address, putting over their roster, as well as proposing title versus title at WrestleMania if she wins the Royal Rumble tonight. Jake Something beat Chris Bay, which led to the Gorillas of Destiny debuting to attack Jake, and then Switchblade Jay White returning to Impact to beat down Speedball Mike Bailey, who attempted to make the save. But that brings us to our news rundown. Before we get into that, we got a couple of comments to highlight here. Vala B with a super chat donation saying can't be there for the show live, throwing in that ROH fund money. Yes, we are buying Ring of Heat, ladies and gentlemen. It will happen. We have MCAS who says, by the way, it would be cool if we saw the three faces of SP3. HR SP3 is fire. Yes. Check out Wrestle Talk Podcast YouTube channel for the Royal Jamble, and you might see the three faces of SP3. But that brings us to our WWE
news. Know that, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you know that that graphic with the Rumble, Mickey Rumble, Impact tweeted that out earlier, and I'm dying to see if WWE Twitter was going to retweet it or anything like that. They still have not.
They would. Have they
retweeted any of the times Impact has plugged the Royal Rumble? Like no.
Dead.
No, they're not going to do that, ladies and gentlemen.
That's why, God bless Mickey for her great promo, but she's not going to win. Sorry. Not sorry.
I think that
I mean, like,
I kind of want Mickey to be the Iron Woman of the women's Royal
I
Rumble
would like her. I would like for her to stand out. Yes, absolutely. I think she should. Will it happen? My expectations are really, really low for it.
She's not gonna win. She's not gonna eliminate the most people, but at least she could last the longest. That's what I want.
Right. Maybe come down to like final 4. I don't know. Like.
Speaking of the Women's Royal Rumble, according to Fightful, several talents within WWE are of the belief that Asuka will be making her return at the Rumble. However, the report mentions that it's not confirmed, and WWE continues to be tight-lipped as to revealing information on surprise entrants. And speaking of Asuka, her former Kabuki Warriors tag team partner has also been reported by Fightful to be a name mentioned for the Royal
really
Rumble.
Desperate, yo. Oh my God!
Hey,
sorry.
She left the United States in the summer of 2020 and returned to Japan, where she's remained with WWE in an official capacity as an ambassador, and she also done commentary work for WWE in Japan. Andrew, do you think that we get one or both Kabuki Warriors in the Rumble tonight?
I would say Asuka. Very good chance for Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I think Asuka coming back would be great because she could fit in kind of anywhere. Raw, SmackDown, tag team division. Fightful Select also had a major report about Kurt Angle, WWE Hall of Famer, is in St. Louis right now. That has been confirmed by Wrestling Inc. There's no additional details available yet on there being a plan for Angle at the Rumble, but WWE sources reportedly confirmed that Angle is in St. Louis. However, WWE is planning community, press events, and content projects for this weekend, and Angle will reportedly be a part of them. In addition, Angle is part of the Conrad Thompson podcast network, and Thompson will be running live shows this weekend. But I heard that Angle is in some shape. So, Romeo, do you think Angle will be in the men's Royal Rumble?
No, and if he is, Happy Corbin's tossing him over.
No, I already called it. He eliminates Happy Corbin to get revenge, and then Madcap Moss eliminates him.
Oh God!
Even worse.
Even worse. Oh my goodness.
You know they would do it. You know they would. Another report from PW Insider has Cameron, aka Andrew, who is in St. Louis to be a part of the Women's Royal Rumble match, as well as Melina Perez and Oksana. Oksana. That name Oksana, I have not heard in years.
That's a good voice. It's a name I haven't heard in years.
I do remember her being the manager of Cesaro. That's about it.
Cesaro had a manager?
Yeah, she was.
Okay, I wasn't at, like, I blacked out. That's that hole that I don't have filled in, so I don't know that part. I don't know that. She's gonna
come out and nobody's gonna know who she is except the heart.
Right. Okay. So then, all right. So I'm gonna, when we doing the watch along, are you gonna tell me who that is? Okay, great.
There you go.
I'm not even gonna know what her music is.
According to Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE officials are very high on LA Knight, and he is slated for a main roster spot in the spring after WrestleMania. But he's already done a backstage segment on WWE.com with Rude and Ziggler, and also according
to them and be in the mid card, then yeah, great, thanks.
Also, according to Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE is high on Von Wagner and Zion Quinn based on their look and size, and are very forgiving of their inexperience in the ring, hoping they will pick up some things in time. Which one of these are you? Are you high on, Andrew? Von Wagner or Zion Quinn?
Von Wagner, I guess. I mean,
you could have said neither one, friend. It's okay.
If I have to pick
we
one,
understand. No, you don't have to do anything. No.
Just what are they doing?
Right. That's the answer. Good answer. Like Family Feud.
That's the best answer. That's the best answer possible.
If you're high on Von Wagner, you shouldn't have put Robert Stone with him, because Robert Stone has been made to look like a joke his entire NXT run.
Pretty bad decision. PW Insider does report that also former WWF Women's Champion Ivory is in St. Louis to be a part of the Royal Rumble weekend. It's not confirmed that she's in the Women's Royal Rumble, but they are bringing back. WWE is planning to bring it back and start filming Table for 3 this weekend. And Kurt Angle and names like Ivory have been mentioned to be a part of that. Cute. Meanwhile, JBL and Jerry Lawler are in town, but most likely for the kickoff show. And PW Insider notes that former WWE WWE Divas Champion Caitlyn is in St. Louis, which I would think she just wrestled in 2018 in the Mae Young Classic. I would think that she would be a person that they would put in the women's Royal Rumble.
Crazy shape.
Exactly. It's not someone that you need that you're gonna look at her and say she's not ready. She is ready to be in the Rumble.
Well, she was supposed to make a return. She was supposed to return a couple years ago. She was training, and I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I remember hearing something about that, especially like after the Mae Young Classic, because she did really well in that. And I heard that they were thinking about bringing her in, but I guess it fell apart. That's something similar with Melina, because Melina, there was talks in 2020 that she was about to sign with WWE, but a couple of different things, injuries, as well as her NWA contract stopped her from doing that. And then another person the WWE seems to be high on from NXT is Joe Gacy, because they think Vince McMahon is particularly high on him because he thinks the character will get the company mainstream publicity.
Oh my
How you like that,
God.
Romeo?
I see why Vince McMahon has that thinking, and to be fair, Joe Gacy has been doing pretty entertaining work so far. I think in NXT, he's been getting better and better, at least on the mic and talking.
Yeah, on the mic he's been good because they've stopped all the buzzwords and stuff, so he's been getting
good point,
getting better. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, there are no plans right now even if Triple H will return to running NXT or for him to do any creative in the company due to his health issues. In connecting with that, even with the perception that Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard are running NXT, it's not really the case. When it comes to creative, the guy basically in charge is Shawn Michaels, according to Wrestling Observer. They feel he has a great aptitude for the creative process and understanding how to make stars. Michaels does follow the instructions he gets from the higher-ups, and McMahon has the final say. McMahon is more hands-on in that he looks at run sheets and scripts, but doesn't make the amount of changes he would to Raw or Smackdown. The direction Michaels gets is who WWE wants push, which he follows, and Michaels has been praised for his work, as the belief is he's under pressure to make stars fast and has made strides with Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Grayson Waller, and Tony D'Angelo. But it seems like I made this analogy last night on SmackDown. Y'all tell me what y'all think. For years, Triple H has been the father of NXT, but he's had a couple of mothers come in. Because, you know, the role of the mother is to nurture and to really develop the children. So when he first became the daddy of NXT, mommy was Dusty Rhodes, and mommy did a great job of developing a lot of new stars. You've had other mommies come in, like a Ryan Ward, who did the storylines, or Road Dogg, who was his number 2 for a while. And now daddy's gone and mommy's in, and mommy is Shawn Michaels. That's how I feel with NXT. It's just been a revolving door of mommies, but now the new step mommy's in charge and daddy's out the door, it seems. What do you think, Andrew?
It's I don't think he's going back there. I think when he does come back, he'll have some sort of different role within the company. I'm curious to see how it goes. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm
kind of sad, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. I don't want to hear that.
A lot of the changes were coming. The changes were coming anyway, and he was part of that change. He recognized that they had to adapt. The NXT that we all loved was unsustainable, if you really think about it. And it really became a third company for these guys, or a secondary company for these guys. It was competing with Ring of Honor. It got the best talent around the world that was known talent. Put him in NXT, but the reality is NXT wasn't cultivating their own homegrown talent, and that was the goal. You take guys that are, maybe there's something that they have, but they're not established, and you make them into something that you control. When you have a Shinsuke Nakamura and a Samoa Joe headlining your shows, that's not really doing anything to cultivate new talent because those guys are so beyond established at the time. So, and also, here's the other thing, right? They're in competition, whether or not they think AEW's competition or not. You're going to have a guy like Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and you're going to keep them in NXT for, Owens was fast, but you're going to keep like some of these guys there for a year or so. Adam Cole was there for how many years?
2007, 4 years actually.
4 years.
He came in 2017 and left 4 years later.
Long enough to be on the Mount Rushmore of NXT.
Yeah,
right.
So
that's true.
that doesn't do anything other than creating a television product for people, but that's not the purpose of NXT, and you're losing money on this. So why would you keep your talent there if you're going to lose money? I get what they did. You know, it kind of sucks because we that era of NXT's gone, and it's never going to come back. But, you know, things change, sometimes for the worse.
Yeah, this does seem like it's for the worst currently, unfortunately. And then the last bit of WWE news we have is apparently WWE is doing a new streaming deal in Indonesia with Disney Plus. They just signed a multi-year deal with the streaming platform to broadcast WWE content over in Indonesia, and it's a part of WWE kind of trying to connect with bigger streaming platforms and outside the country. But this marks the first direct deal between WWE and Disney, though, as the report pointed out, the two sides have had some interactions in the past. So very interesting, and I don't know. Peacock right now owns the rights to WWE, but we don't know what's going to happen after that deal is done. So this may be the start of a bigger relationship with Disney Plus and WWE. We never really
So we could get rid of the cock then? Like we can throw it in the garbage?
No, you gotta enjoy the cock. Damian Hernandez says the reason why Heyman and MVP haven't gone through a promo feud is because MVP has lost to Heyman in a rehearsal promo feud, and that's why it hasn't happened yet. What do you think? What do you think the reason is that we haven't heard Heyman and MVP talk in this feud, Krssi?
I think they're trying to let the guys do their thing, especially like Brock is like having fun now. It reminds me of when Brock was in the Royal Rumble. He had to matter of fact, no, when he won Money in the Bank, it's like that Brock. But that Brock didn't get to really talk. So now Brock has now went home. He's like, I think he has more confidence on the mic. I feel like he's just having fun. He's the older Farmer Joe type of guy, and he's just enjoying. It seems like he's enjoying what his life is now. I think he's like having fun. So I think he's letting that out, and I let that shine. Like, don't let any of the managers talk. We're going to just have the guys just do their thing. And I think it's been going okay so far. I mean, has it been a missed opportunity? Yeah. But I think the guys have been holding their own down, themselves.
Yeah, I haven't complained about any of the promo.
I didn't really pay it no mind, to be honest. I just,
Well, they've done the job because I want to see the match. Ronan Goats says LA Knight is best for business in the mid card as of right now. That isn't an opinion. That is a fact of life. Yeah. We also got Nick Jackson says not Encino Man, and he says hoping to see Caitlyn in the Rumble. She looks great right now. Fun fact: Caitlyn and I went to the same high school. Wow, I did not know that. That is really cool. Another super chat donation here from Rollin Curtis, who says, I have Bayley, Rousey, and Mickey as the final three. I think that Bayley, being the only member of the Four Horsewomen to not have been in the main event or at WrestleMania, is an inch that she will scratch this year. What do you think of the chances of Bayley winning the Women's Royal Rumble, Andrew?
I don't know. I think there is a chance that she might show up. She had surgery and then she had something else happen. So they were working with two injuries. But listen, she's fantastic. She adapted so well for that pandemic era for the company. I remember when her and Sasha came out, went early on, right? Like it was like week 1 or week 2 of the whole no audience thing, and they were so out of place, looking at the crowd with nobody there, because that's their whole training, right? You always look at the crowd, get the energy. And it took them a little bit, but they both adapted so well. But Bayley especially really shined in that era of not having to deal with the fans. Very much liked it. I hope she comes back now and she's able to do, even more.
The same thing, yeah.
Just elevated even more with the crowd. But she really shined, in my opinion, the last 2 years. I'm excited to see her come back.
Yes, I'm excited for Bayley. I think Bayley will be in a matchup with Charlotte. It's been a while since those two women have interacted with each other, and it was Charlotte that kind of started Bayley on the path of this new character. That's the person that she popped the inflatable arm, wavy arm man against. So it would be poetic justice to kind of work. She made
Bayley be like heel. And
and especially if Bayley's going to come back as a babyface and we might get the old music back, it would make sense for her to verse the person she ended that run with to start a new run against.
I don't want the new. Okay.
Kenny Omega is our subject for AEW news here, as he's been out of action since November with several injuries. And apparently, according to Wrestling Observer Radio, the former AEW World Champion also recently tested positive for COVID-19 a couple of weeks ago.
Man.
Meltzer noted that the original plan had been for Omega to return to the ring in March, but that date is now up in the air, and he's been taking time off to have multiple things done, which had previously been reported to be surgeries to fix various injuries he's accumulated. PW Insider reports that Frankie Kazarian just signed a new deal with All Elite Wrestling, so congratulations to him. In what I thought was a surprising news, Charles Barkley mentioned Jon Moxley on his podcast this week. On the latest Steam Room podcast, Barkley, a noted wrestling fan, said that he was proud of Jon Moxley, saying, and I quote, "Hey, this is serious right here. I know you all don't know this guy. His name is Jon Moxley. You guys know I'm a big wrestling fan. Shout out to The Rock. Hey, Rock, we're always going to be close. I do all the stuff work. You all don't know this, but when you see his body, that's me. So I watch a lot of wrestling. Jon Moxley is a star on our network, actually. This is not a homer pick. He wrestles for, shout out to Chris Jericho. So Jon Moxley, he's one of the biggest stars for AEW. He left 3 months ago for alcohol treatment. You know, I had a younger brother who passed away, so I know a lot about addiction, and he just came back this week. I just want him to know we never met. I just want to say, man, I'm really proud of him. I wish him nothing but the best. I've been through it with my family, and man, it's a tough situation, but I just want him to know that I'm really proud of him, and just keep battling. It's all you can do. So shout out to those guys.
Oh, that's beautiful. I didn't know he was a big wrestling fan.
I did my best Charles Barkley impersonation with a couple of those.
I love that man has not changed at all.
Right.
No.
He's still he's still
Yeah, he's still Charles Barkley, man.
He's still Charles Barkley. He will not he won't change for nobody. He don't care how or what. It doesn't matter how he's affected. He's going to be his authentic self.
Consistent.
Same. Yep.
I want another AEW note here. Lio Rush, after the news of his release last week that we talked about, he has signed with a record label with Universal Music Group. Rush posted on his Twitter on Friday to announce he signed with them, an independent label, Thump Records and Virgin Records. He said, "Today I signed a deal with UMG, Universal Music Group, and Thump Records and Virgin Music. # Lio Rush." Rush has released a couple of albums over the years, as well as 2 EPs. Andrew, what was your thoughts on the news of Rush becoming a free agent in a couple of weeks from AEW, and now he's signing a record deal with something he's very passionate about, which is his music?
What was it, like a 6-month deal he had?
It seemed like it. Yeah, he came back after, originally I think he signed in after Double or Nothing in May, then he did his retirement, and then he came back in September, and now it expires in February. So
he likes to go around. He can't commit to one place. He likes to bounce around a little bit. That's good. Listen, some people like that.
I want to know if he signed a 6-month music deal.
How long is that music deal, sir? In an interview with Talk Is Jericho, Kyle O'Reilly explained why he decided to leave the WWE and join Adam Cole and Bobby Fish in AEW. He says on why he left, "Seeing Bobby and Adam come to AEW, how could you not want to be back with these guys and part of a group like AEW, where every week it's like a takeover crowd just on TV. We talk about the natural progression and next steps of one's career, and it felt like for me, it was the next logical step for me. NXT 2.0 rebrand happened, and it felt like before the rebrand, Kyle O'Reilly was a top guy in NXT, and after the rebrand, plans shifted. That's fine. It's business. I'm totally willing to do what I can do and get anyone else get over. For the last few months there, I tried my darnest to do so with everyone I worked with. I just wanted to be excited about going to work again, and I felt like I left a ton on the table with New Japan. And then here, I know there is a good relationship with New Japan. It seemed like a new frontier. There are so many talented guys and so many exciting matchups, so many exciting tag matchups because the tag division is stacked, and I love tag team wrestling. My tag team partner, the company released, and now he's in AEW. My deal was done. It was coming up in December, and I ended up doing a week extension just to finish up and do good business by them and finish with War Games and TV to put Von Wagner over and do business right. I'm happy to do so. The opportunity came to come here, sorting a deal out with Tony Khan a day or two before my debut, and here we are. What do you think about those comments and the fact that kind of Kyle O'Reilly saw the writing on the wall that he was kind of pushed aside in NXT 2.0, Krssi?
We kind of said that once all the other guys were leaving. We were like, well, and he didn't even really get the shit end of the stick. The other guy that's still there is getting the shit end of the stick. But like you said, once you get in a certain age, it's about family. It's about got to see where you're going to go. And he already seen it, but to be the good guy that he is, it takes a lot to say, I'll let this guy go over. I'll stay here another week or whatever, so you can do this show. But then I'm gonna have to chuck the deuces. So I think that's very commendable of him for doing such a thing. But yeah, and then like he said, he can do other things. He doesn't have to stay at this one place. He wants to go back to New Japan, and he regrets doing the other things that he didn't get to do. So now he's gonna do them, and I think that's really, really good for him. And I do like that. What one thing they are doing over at AEW is like, you don't have to be just here. You can do other places. Like, there's so much wrestling going on in the world that we probably don't even get to talk about and see. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's something that's good for him and other people to, explore.
Andrew, do you think that there's more superstars that are currently on NXT that is having that same thought process that Kyle O'Reilly went through?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, I think so. I think anybody from that old guard is probably thinking that. I think Roderick Strong is one. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. What happens with Roddy? Ciampa obviously is going to the main roster. LA Knight's going to the main roster. So I think those guys they know what their future is. But a guy like Roddy, like, what do you do with him on the main roster? How important is he on the main roster? Like, would he have a better positioning in another company? I don't know the answer to that. I mean, he would know better than anybody else. But I think we're going to see a lot of that. I think we're going to see a lot of these guys. You know what was interesting? Some of the releases that they had from NXT, like Jonah, right?
Yeah.
Like, why was he released?
It seems like why I think I did this question, because Roderick does seem like he's in that spot that Jonah was, where they tried him out on the main roster, and now we're hearing in the Wrestling Observer newsletter that the plans for Roderick, Pete Dunne, and Tommaso Ciampa, 3 guys that did these tryouts on the main roster, are all for NXT. So it makes me kind of put 1 and 2 together and think that Vince didn't like what he saw.
Oh, too fat. Get him out of here.
Was that the Kembe Mutombo?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
No Jonah here.
No Jonah here. No. Great stuff, Romeo. New Japan news real quick. They canceled a whole bunch of shows for January due to COVID-19 protocols, so they won't be returning until February 6th. Impact news, they also are dealing with COVID-19 pandemic. They were hit hard at their latest taping in Florida, so various wrestlers and staff members missed the taping due to medical protocols, either due to testing positive or coming into contact with someone who had. And then Jonathan Gresham had to miss The World on GCW, as well as he will be missing PWG's the Battle of Los Angeles after testing positive for COVID-19 and not being able to travel. Over in MLW, they announced Alex Hammerstone versus Davey Richards for the MLW World Heavyweight Champion at their next pay-per-view Super Fight on February 26th in Charlotte, North Carolina. And Ring of Honor announced they are creating the ROH Hall of Fame to coincide with the company's 20-year anniversary. The first inductee will be revealed on Monday, and it should be either CM Punk or Bryan Danielson. Andrew, who would be your first inductee in Ring of Honor or Hall of Fame?
For Ring of Honor, obviously Danielson, Punk, Nigel, anybody from like that 02 to 04 Ring of Honor run, and which they had a ton of those guys. I guess Danielson,
Yeah. There's a few names like Danielson, Pong, Joe's available now to be in it. So there's a few names.
Homicide.
Homicide, yeah. Homicide just went into the Indie Hall of Fame as well. So yeah, there's a few names. Chris Hero's working with them as well. But yeah, that should be very interesting. Interesting to see who the first inductee will be. We got a question here from Damian Hernandez saying, speaking of Peacock, which is a stupid name, don't know if y'all know, but Peacock have been billions of dollars between 2020 and 2021 have lost. Yeah. Do y'all think WWE would have something to do with that? Yeah, the news came out that they had lost a huge amount of money over the last couple of years. Do you think that WWE is paying attention to that and might be thinking twice about their decision, Romeo?
No, I think they're happy to be in bed with the cock. Peacock losing money might have something to do with how poorly their interface is.
It is bad.
Really
it is
bad.
so. I've never seen an app so bad in my life.
The other apps out there are better.
I agree,
and they have better shows. Well.
That's true. That's also true. I watched Karate Kid the first 3 on Peacock though. That was useful.
You can only watch so many episodes of The Office before you'd be like, what else is there to watch on here? You know,
The Office is on other platforms too, though, so you don't even have to watch it on there.
Also true. But let's get into our predictions for tonight's WWE Raw Rumble, which will be on the Peacock Network live tonight. Let's start with the mixed tag team matchup. It will be the Miz and Maurice, the It couple, versus the Grit couple of Edge and Beth Phoenix. Edge and Beth Phoenix becoming the first Hall of Fame couple to team with each other in a WWE ring. Miz, Edge, and Maurice returned before day 1 to set up Edge versus Miz at the pay-per-view. Maurice kept getting involved at day 1, so Beth Phoenix came out to even things up to set up this mixed tag team matchup. Over the last couple of weeks, we've seen Maurice commit attempted murder on Beth Phoenix with a brick to the head, and we saw Edge and Beth Phoenix crash a birthday party. So a lot of interesting things going on. But let's start with our special guest, Andrew Zarian. Who do you think wins, Grit or It?
Grit. I think Grit wins this.
Romeo,
it's by the way, great story, right?
Yeah,
I like it. I like the feud. I'm okay with this. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I think they kept it pretty simple, and I think that, it kind of seems like a predictable matchup, but there is a chance that the Miz and Maurice win to kind of prolong things to make it a little bit more longer, so it's not as predictable as other matches on this card, but I do agree with Andrew, the Grit couple wins. Romeo?
Edge and Beth, and maybe we get a nice feel-good family visual celebrating with their daughters. That'd be cool, or something like that. And
they all got daughters, right? That's the thing that they have between each other. They all have girls. Oh, isn't that cute?
Maybe we have like a kindergarten match. The girls face each other. The girls versus the girls. The Wrestlemania.
Krssi, who you got?
I got Team Grit.
I think this is unanimous right here.
Easy, very easy.
Raw Women's Championship is on the line. The man, Becky Lynch, Big Time Bex, will defend against Doudrop. Doudrop earned this opportunity in a triple threat match against Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan, with Becky Lynch costing Bianca Belair that matchup and give Doudrop the victory. Over the last couple of weeks, Becky Lynch been saying she makes all these stars, but also beats them, and saying that Doudrop has looked up to Becky all this time. Well, Doudrop wants to prove herself and win her first title in WWE. Miss Krssi Love, who you got in this one?
Becky.
Pretty easy to guess.
Yeah, like Doudrop is not winning no time soon. Sorry, friend. Just is what it is.
Romeo?
Becky, let's see if she can back up her words and make a star-making performance for Doudrop.
Yes, let's see that.
Andrew?
Becky.
Yeah, this is the most predictable match on the card, ladies and gentlemen. It's Becky Lynch is winning. Next we got for the Universal Championship, it will be the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, going one-on-one with Seth freaking Rollins. Roman had went through everyone on the SmackDown roster, so Adam Pearce went to Raw and decided to choose Seth Rollins for the number one contender. Seth Rollins earned a number one contender match against a one-on-one match against the WWE champion, but didn't get that at day one, so he gets it here, and he's been getting in the head of Roman Reigns because anytime he's versed Roman with a championship on the line, Seth Rollins has won, and of course Seth will always be in Roman's head for betraying the Shield, and apparently Roman will never forgive him for that. I will say that main event segment made me think that Roman Reigns was a babyface if I had never watched this TV show before.
Yeah.
But I am going with Seth freaking Rollins to win the Universal Championship.
What?
Yes.
No way.
Nope.
Andrew, who you got?
I'm going
the
with
tribal chief?
I'm going Roman.
Roman for Andrew, Seth for me, Krssi.
I'm going Roman, friend. I'm so sorry that you will have to be defeated. Roman is not losing. Like,
I want everybody to pick Roman because this means I will be in the lead for the prediction.
You're gonna be one behind because they're beating you over the head. That Seth Rollins owns Roman Reigns. Roman can't beat him. Roman's gonna win this.
Yeah.
We're going to 1,000 days. We're halfway there.
Hey, they also have made it feel like Brock Lesnar does not care about his challenger for the WWE Championship. Brock Lesnar will defend against Bobby Lashley. First time ever, a dream match in the making, 20 years in the making here. Bobby Lashley earned the opportunity by beating Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, and Big E in a fatal four-way match. It was Brock Lesnar who won the WWE title at day one in a fatal five-way with Bobby Lashley in the match, where Lashley dominated Lesnar, but Lesnar has not taken him seriously at all on the road to Royal Rumble.
This is their graphic?
Yes, it is.
They're producing. Why are there tanks and helicopters in the background? I don't understand that.
That's a good
Because
question.
we're ready to rumble, Krssi. Aren't you ready to rumble?
Okay.
Rumble, chaos, yeah. Who you got, Krssi?
Yeah,
Lesnar
right.
or Lashley?
I would love Lashley to win, but I don't see him winning, so I'm gonna go with put his what's the man from Mortal Kombat? That got him.
Goro.
Goro. There you go. That's his
Andrew,
name.
who you got? Bob or Brock?
I'm gonna go with Goro.
Hey.
Goro for the win. Romeo?
I've changed my mind from yesterday's preview show. I am buying in. Bobby Lashley is going to win this somehow, some way. He's going to earn Brock Lesnar's respect the real way, and it's going to infuriate Brock Lesnar so much that he enters the Royal Rumble.
Oh, okay.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of the Royal Rumble, the men's Royal Rumble match, 30 men will enter, 1 man will make his way to WrestleMania with a guaranteed opportunity at the WWE or Universal Championship. Already announced for the match, Johnny Knoxville, Rey and Dominic Mysterio, Sami Zayn, and Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford of the Street Profits, Austin Theory, Sheamus, Damian Priest, AJ Styles, Big E, Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, Kofi Kingston, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Riddle of RK Bro, Omos, the Raw Tag Team Champions Chad Gable and Otis, Dolph Ziggler, and Robert Roode. And about 8 more to be announced. Oh no, Ricochet has also been announced for the matchup last night on SmackDown. So a lot of surprises could be in store in this one. But who do you see winning the men's Royal Rumble match, Andrew?
I'm gonna throw something out of left field.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm ready.
I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar.
Wow. Brock Lesnar. Okay.
Let's go with Brock. I'm just throwing something out.
All right.
So the WWE champion, because you
The
have
WWE champion. Yeah.
I think
know.
Brock
This
is
is
beating
hard.
Bobby.
He's not in the match. He's
Yeah.
not in the match. I could see them doing something wacky like that, he's so dominant and he has to face Roman, even as champion, or I don't know, Bad Bunny. How about that?
I love it.
We love
You-
that.
you
He's
sold
winning.
me.
He's winning.
You sold me. Romeo, who you got?
Brock Lesnar also, but because he lost the championship in the
Because he lost. Okay.
Okay.
Krssi, who you got?
Oh, this is so hard. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is like the
She wants
hardest
to say Biggie,
one
but
to.
you can't after she's
You
so
can
loud.
say it.
No,
on
I want.
SmackDown.
You can say it. Go for it. Go for your
Biggie,
heart.
friend.
Go with your heart.
Yeah, go with my heart. Okay, I'm gonna go with my heart. Biggie, guys.
Yeah, that ain't happening after what we
I
heard
know,
last night.
I know. See,
Big
you
E
say
has
let me
been
speak with my. Go ahead.
Big E has been officially moved back to SmackDown to
SmackDown
reteam with Kofi Kingston. It doesn't seem like he's gonna win, so I'm no longer going with my heart. I will once again go with my head. Roman Reigns will win the men's Royal Rumble match. That is the only reason I am saying Seth Rollins beats him, so Roman Reigns can win the Royal Rumble, go on to WrestleMania, and beat Brock Lesnar.
By the way, in my scenario, if Brock Lesnar does win, he could tease, getting revenge on Lashley or going back after Roman Reigns, and I think they'll probably do that storyline.
Could do it. Could do it both ways. And then finally, what we all have said should be the main event, the Women's Royal Rumble matchup. Already announced is a star-studded lineup. You got the SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair, Nikki and Brie Bella, the Bella Twins, WWE Hall of Famers, Michelle McCool, Summer Rae returning, as well as Kelly, WWE Hall of Famer Lita returning, Rhea Ripley, Naomi, Nikki ASH, Carmella, Impact Knockouts World Champion making history, Mickie James.
Why is she in the corner? She should be see where Carmella is at. That's where Mickie James should have been.
WWE.
Just saying, she has a belt and they're not. Sorry, go ahead, friend.
The other half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Queen Zelina Vega, Shotzi, Tamina, Dana Brooke, the 24/7 champion, Natalya, Aaliyah, Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, and now Sasha Banks. So about 7 to 8 superstars to be named, but I will go first. We all know Rowdy Ronda Rousey returns to win the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble match. That's my pick. Take it to the bank. Andrew, who you got?
Ronda, if she's in it. Sasha, if she's not. And Sasha eliminates. Who do you think Sasha eliminates? Let's go with this. If Sasha were to win, who does she eliminate?
I think she eliminates either Charlotte or Bianca last.
Has to be, right?
Yeah. I think and Bianca would be my choice for Ronda as well. Either Bianca or Asuka are going to be the person she eliminates. Bianca to piss as many people off as possible with this Ronda win, or Asuka to do a full circle of Ronda overshadowing her first Royal Rumble win and then denying her a second Royal Rumble win.
Okay. I'm going with Ronda though. I'm gonna say Ronda that comes in at 30, quick elimination. She's there for a couple of minutes.
I agree. Romeo?
Ronda, and WWE will be glad to taunt Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar as their Royal Rumble winners.
Oh my God, you think of that is mainstream as you got two bona fide
champions.
Yes, UFC legends as your winners. That's perfect.
Hall of Famers.
Oh my God, let me log off because this is.
Krssi, who are you going for?
Well, I'm definitely not saying homegirl's name, so I'm not even gonna whatever. I'm gonna go with Bianca. Fuck that bitch. That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna go Bianca. That's what I'm going.
She went with her heart on both. Big E, Bianca. She went with her heart. Bless her heart.
Oh, bless your heart. Bless your heart.
I'm not saying homegirl. I'm not saying. I'm not gonna say.
I hope you're on the live stream so we can see that heart breaking live on YouTube.
I'm gonna cuss every single chance that I can to say, "Fuck this shit." So fucking loud.
Annika says Vince is really leaving money on the table if he doesn't let Triple H and HBK probably bring up NXT. Nick Jackson said, hope to see Kyle and Bobby back in PWG. We also got Nick Jackson said, Sid said Karate Kid, any Cobra Kai fans? I am a huge Cobra Kai fan. I finished season 4. Anybody else?
No.
I watched the first season. I haven't watched the other ones.
There you go.
I haven't even watched Karate Kid.
Oh my God, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I've seen Karate. I've seen all of them.
It would have helped you during COVID because when I was sick after my booster, all I did was this is the breathing exercise, Mr. Miyagi. Peaches Daniel in part 2. I just did that and I was fine. We got Easy Attack and Professor Chris saying, "Sup, y'all? I need to reschedule Krissi's appearance on NWA podcast. I'm looking forward to Bel Air, Peacock, and I still love you, SP3, even though your ass be cheating." Yes, I do.
Feel
yes,
better. I hope you're doing good.
Yes, we hope you're doing good. Professor Chris just got a brain surgery, so shouts out to him. He's pushing hard, still working.
Right.
Still competed in a trivia contest. Amazing.
Absolutely. Amazing stuff. JH says, Krssi, shout out from the safety ML. We also got Nick Jackson said, "I don't usually bet against the tribal chief, but I'm going with Seth." So a couple of people.
What is happening right now?
And he's thinking 4D chess. Winner of the Rumble, Roman Reigns. Yes, that's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen.
So who opens up the match? That means that they're going to open a match and he loses?
Yeah, probably opening the show. Annika says, "I'm going with my heart, Big E, baby." We also got Rollin, who said Kofi Kingston is so happy to be solidified as a mid-carder for all of eternity. God damn.
Wow, not all of eternity. Oh, I think that's a good one to win. Bailey, yeah.
Bailey's a good one.
Patrick thinks,
yeah.
Bailey was my pick like 6 months ago, for sure. And Nick Jackson says, "I love you, Krssi, but WWE definitely not having 2 black people win both Rumbles."
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
I only said okay.
I mean, that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't pick Bobby Lashley to beat Brock Lesnar, because we know Brock don't let no. I was gonna say darkies, but let me stop.
Listen, maybe. Listen, you'll be surprised, man. You'll be surprised, maybe. You know.
Yeah, that would be the shocker for me to see Bobby Lashley pin Brock Lesnar would be a
1,
shock.
2, 3, flat in the middle.
That would be poetic justice right there.
And then Brock's coming for all the blacks in the Rumble.
Oh no!
Big E gets eliminated last. Awesome stuff.
Oh
but
no!
This has been an awesome episode of True Hill Heat. We got to thank our special guest, Andrew Zarian, our New York brethren. Thank you so much for joining us. You
Fantastic
were great.
Time.
Yes.
I'll come on whenever you guys want me. I'll come on.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Please let the people know where they can find you and all the great things you are doing, sir.
Tonight we're doing a watch along, Wrestling Observer. There I am. There it is. Hold on. I get out. There you go. Today we're doing a watch. Hold on. Let me see. There we go. Yeah, watch along on Wrestling Observer on their YouTube channel, F4W Online, on YouTube, F4W Video, on Twitch. We're going to be live from 7 o'clock on. Who knows when this thing ends. And I'll be back on Sunday with Wrestling Observer Live, Sunday at 6 p.m. East.
Awesome stuff, man. Andrew, you are doing great things and proud to be a fellow New Yorker with
Thank you,
with
man.
all the greatness
really
you are achieving, bro.
Really do. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining us. Miss Krssi Love, please let the people know where they can find you.
Oh, it's a lot now, I gotta say. So you can catch me every Saturday with my good brothers. We do True Hill Heat at 11:05 every Saturday. I now have my other good brothers. I do Teddy Turnbuckle. We review Smackdown, which is so hard to watch, but it's fun to get through with my good brothers, Romeo and Josh. We do that every Friday, so please watch our show. And then SP and I will do Dark Side of the Ring when that comes on, but we're going to be doing some other new stuff. I think SP wants to do some new shows, which is exciting, so I'm excited for that. Other than that, I'll be on some, you might see me on a watch along or a round table here or there sprinkled in as giving the female love. But you can find me on IG, Twitter, and on Facebook at Krssi Love 1_ just Krssi Love on my name, which is Crystal Lynch.
Great stuff, Krssi. Romeo, where can they find you, good brother?
True Hill Romeo on Twitter and Instagram, right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. If you can watch 2 watch-alongs at once, you can watch Andrew Zarian and you can watch us right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. We'll have a review on Sunday. Monday, Rated Raw Superstars, me and Drunk Guy JJ, either a watch-along or a review. Tuesday, NX3, me, Chris G, and Ness. And Wednesday, we'll do a watch-along for Dynamite, CM Punk versus MJF.
Big one.
And, of course, Fridays, SmackDown reviews on the Teddy Turnbuckle YouTube channel.
Yes, so much going on for my two friends here, and as well as me. You can find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHeelSP3. If you want 3 watch-alongs to watch Andrew on Wrestling Observer, watch Romeo on True Heel Heat, and then jump on over during the Royal Rumble matches, men's and women's. I'll be on the Wrestle Talk Podcast YouTube channel, a part of their Royal Jamble, and yes, I will be bringing in the 3 faces of SP3, if it's possible. I don't know because of how my numbers are spaced out, if this is going to be possible or not. We shall see. You could also check out right now on the YouTube channel AE Ramble episode 27 with myself, Jimmy Macaram, and Marcus Cash reviewing Beach Break. You could also see my full review of The World on GCW right now on the YouTube channel as well. Blunt Impact on Thursday with Chris G and Ness reuniting is up right now, as well as NX342 with Chris G. Our Royal Rumble preview, which is doing big numbers, just hit 3K views. Thank you to everyone who checked that out. You can also see that. And then I'll be on the Roundtable review on Sunday as well. So a lot of big things happening on the True Heel Heat network, as well as patreon.com/True Heel Heat, where you could become an even bigger backer and be a part of the True Heel Heat Prediction Championship. Romeo?
And guys, tell people about True Heel Heat, the YouTube channel. We are just a few subscribers away from 2K.
Yes,
2K today.
Yes.
Let's do it. Thank you so much to our special guest, Andrew Zarian. Thank you to Romeo, our producer, Johnny, baby Seth, as well as Miss Krssi Love. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been True Heel Heat, episode 160, The Royal Returns. We are signing off until next time.
Peace out.